Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy post-Valentine's week. This is Valentine's Day, the day that we're recording the show. This is podcast number 298. Welcome to the show. We are the X1 Bros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox One community. Thank you for being here, everybody. As always, I'm joined by the bros, the X1 Bros. First and foremost, it is Mr. McSpicy.
Hello, how's it going?
Jordan the Man. And
Hello.
I am X1. We are very happy to be here. It's been another fantastic week, a fabulous week. And we're sitting here eating chocolate-covered strawberries. And before the show...
And what are these? What are these? Peppers?
Before the show...
Peppers and ranch.
Yes.
Peppers.
And,
and
it's
tomatoes.
it's a very romantic atmosphere we have
really
here.
is.
We have
Holy
hand sanitizer here.
Yeah,
Keep it clean.
This guy's he's sick as a dog.
And before the show, Mark was pouring hot wax over his body. And...
That's how we dipped the chocolate strawberries.
Quite an episode. Well, I mean, it was
a ritual.
Quite a ritual.
The required chocolate strawberry ritual. Actually, there's the
Guys, thank you very much for being here. Everybody that's here over on Mixer, if it's your first time, welcome to the live show.
Yeah, Benson, this is live.
We
just asked if this is live.
Yes,
in
it
chat.
is.
This is live.
We love doing this. We love especially our community play, which is coming up. What is the day of our community play? February 29th?
Sorry, we just read the show notes.
We just read the show notes, and Super Shark left us a pretty postscript message. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, that is a Valentine's
Hey,
gift.
community play, Jordan. When is it?
Focus.
The community play is the end of this month, if I am
The 29th,
correct.
right?
Yeah, it is the very last day of the month. Funny how that works out.
Isn't this month 30?
It is. No, it's 29.
29, that's right.
I don't think there has ever been a 30 of February.
You're right. Okay, 29.
Yeah, it'll be 29, and we have decided that this
PUBG.
month will be PUBG.
Ooh, I cannot wait.
So that'll be fun.
I cannot wait. So come join us.
2 weeks, right? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks away.
Yeah,
So
2
put it.
weeks.
Mark your calendars, everybody. Mark your calendars. It starts at 10, 9. No, what time does it start?
Starts in the morning.
Starts in the morning. Just be ready.
Let's say
Starts
noon,
at 9
noon
a.m.
Eastern. 11 Eastern.
Well, it starts at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
So we're doing it at 9 a.m. here?
9 a.m.
Mountain
Wednesday.
11 a.m. Eastern.
11 a.m. Eastern. 8
7
a.m. Pacific.
8 a.m. Pacific.
Sorry about you.
Jordan messed up the time. He messes up the time.
I
conversion.
deal in Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah. Everyone else can suck it.
Aren't we like the -6 in the like whole, you know how they all have
Yeah, yeah.
numbers?
Off of, like-
We're -600.
Hey, who decided that, by the way?
Britain.
Science.
Probably
Oh.
the Pope.
Britain.
You know,
besides
I
everything.
actually,
Which-
yeah, you're right. It might have been the Pope.
I don't know. I'm just.
You're probably
Yes.
right.
No, you're probably right. I mean,
I
that's-
watched a movie with Tom Hanks once,
Oh,
and there was this line that goes through like London, where
Yeah.
they were like trekking things down.
Well, isn't that why
The
Brazil speaks Portuguese and everyone else doesn't? Because the Pope was like, nah, these guys, they're speaking Portuguese. And it was decided.
That you know what that reminds me of? That's power. You
Wait,
know what
weren't
that
they
reminds me
conquered by
of?
Portugal?
You know what?
That reminds me of that movie where he goes, "Let me show you true
Yeah.
power."
Also, they were conquered by Portugal.
Portugal, right?
Well, they were
Well,
fighting
yeah,
over.
okay.
No,
but
no,
the
that
Pope
was-
still hated them.
There was a war that was going to happen between the Spanish and Portugal, and the Pope was like, "All right, I'm drawing a line. Portugal gets this, Spain gets this, and that's why Brazil speaks Portuguese."
Oh.
Yeah,
Because
of the Pope.
Portugal.
But,
got-
explain
Brazil.
the ending of Inception, though.
yeah. So
the Pope said, "Stop
the
dreaming."
spo-
Okay, I'm sure that we're offending
Wait,
some people
we
here
are.
with our-
Are we dreaming right now?
Are we
that what you're
offending
saying?
people?
I don't know. We're talking about a religious figure. If we,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
that's
Well, we can talk about another one. Even it out.
Ooh. Yeah, David, is that better?
Jordan. I just know that.
I mean,
I don't know how far we wanted to take the
Can
Pope.
we go
No,
Russian Orthodox?
Are we joking about the Pope? I'm pretty sure it was a history
That was
lesson.
true history.
okay?
That was true history.
I don't think
know.
we're offending anybody. I don't
Okay,
think we made a religious
sorry.
joke.
Sorry.
I
But
really
we
want to
can.
know the ending of Inception. No, I'm just kidding.
We can talk about Buddha.
That's a safe one, right?
So, fun fact: I have to crawl. We have like crawl websites to see like what traffic is being sent to websites and how we can take advantage of that traffic to websites. So it's all gaming websites. And on PC Gamer, one of their number one SEO terms, not number one SEO terms, but a high ranking SEO term is quote how to draw boobs.
Wow.
Unquote.
Wow.
Oh no, that's Kotaku actually. Of all of the ones, it's Kotaku.
How to draw
How to draw
boobs.
boobs. Yep.
Don't you just have to draw eyeballs?
I just draw.
That's how the cavemen did it.
Speaking of,
They started with eyeballs, and then they got, they're like, wait a minute. Oh, this is funny.
Kotaku, that's funny because they're
They were playing Pictionary one day.
Kotaku.
The guy was like,
Uh,
I can't see anything other than boobs.
Speaking
No, it
of
was eyeballs.
speaking of offending people, Kotaku, they are an interesting site.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have been derailed.
Yeah, what are we doing
I feel like
here?
I've lost control of this entire situation.
You're on drugs, dude.
Sorry.
You are on drugs.
I am. I've been sick all week. I apologize, everybody. Let's get to it. Bleeding Edge. It's here. Bleeding Edge is here. The beta.
Good segue.
We all had a chance to jump in and play the beta. We played it at E3, and I think that we got a lot more here with this. Like, what we played at E3 was definitely not a complete version, right? Like, I feel like just from what stood out to me right away is like a lot more detailed maps, a lot more detailed environments, stuff like that, right? The music, that music wasn't in the first Bleeding Edge.
That's good music.
It's good music. I feel like Bleeding Edge for me is people that, at least from what I've experienced in the beta, is people that enjoyed Overwatch but wanted to make Overwatch cool.
See, now I'm offended. Okay, I will talk about religious figures all day, but when you make fun of a game I enjoy,
Not that Overwatch
that crosses the line.
There's a difference between being fun. I didn't say Overwatch wasn't fun, but it's not cool in the same way that Bleeding Edge is. It's cool, man. Like the music, the attitude. It's happening.
You're talking about like the art style and
the art
characters,
style,
yeah,
everything.
okay,
I
yeah.
really, really like it. But
Chicken Lady.
Bleeding Edge, I really like the gameplay myself. I'm just thoroughly enjoyed it. It is as fun as it was at E3, if not more fun than I remember it being. This made me more excited for the game. What about you guys? Spicy, what did you think of Bleeding Edge, the beta?
Well, I really enjoy it, and I got to clarify. When you said the first Bleeding Edge, you were referring to the time when we were at E3 and played
Yeah.
that
the first time I
whatever
played it.
version or variation of the game that was at that stage.
pre-alpha. I don't know what it was.
I don't know, but no, it's. I mean, I think it's pretty close to the same game as when we played it at E3. You were just noticing that there's just like more rendering details.
Exactly,
They've
yeah.
fine-tuned it a lot. I really enjoy it. I don't think that that this is the same market as Overwatch, though.
Yeah, that's interesting because it does have a very Overwatch feel to it, and that would be its direct comparison that a lot of people are going to give it, right?
I disagree with that. I think it's comparable in the fact that there's heroes,
Sure.
but there's a lot of games that have heroes.
What do you think makes it different?
So I
the
think
most?
this game's style and genre is going to be catered more towards people that enjoy MOBAs.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think Overwatch is. I mean, if we're looking at like what the game entails for Overwatch,
Sure.
there's map awareness, there's technical gameplay where you have to. It's a twitch shooter, right? There's objective based gameplay, right? There's a let's put that in like a pie chart.
Sure.
I think this game is more on the lines of a hero-based MOBA, such as Heroes of the Storm, where it's not completely technical gameplay that you're playing. It's more or less situational awareness, knowing what abilities to use, and just knowing where your teammates are. It's a team-based game. It's not like a lane-based game because you're not getting, experience from minions.
Sure.
However, like I was playing the girl with the minigun earlier today, and I don't need to aim. I just have to look in the general direction, and she auto-targets people.
Yeah, that's nice.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not a Twitch shooter like a first-person shooter
No,
is.
not at all.
Yeah.
I don't think this game caters to that, the Overwatch, the CSGO players.
Sure.
I think this game caters to the audience that's going to enjoy MOBAs, or that enjoy MOBAs. And granted, you're going to have some overlap in that, people enjoy both.
I think there's a heavy overlap, but yeah.
Yeah, well, because good games are good games.
Well, no, but I mean a heavy overlap. If this is closer to MOBAs, and let's say put CS:GO on the other side, right? I think Overwatch is then probably in the middle, right? Like a little bit of both.
I would put Overwatch more or less on the CSGO side of things. I really
You think
would.
so? Less
Yeah.
on the MOBA side?
Yeah.
Really?
The audience that it grabbed was CSGO players, for sure, 100%. That's the audience that the CSGO players moved to Overwatch, right?
Sure,
and they
sure.
still go back and play that game, but
Sure.
that's first person shooter. That's your audience. That we're the hardcore first person shooter player base. We're CS:GO players. They are. I mean, you're Apex players. You're kind of the hardcore kind of, right? Overwatch players. The gameplay is not. It's not
bad.
technical.
It's not. I see what you're saying.
It's not technical. It's pure. It's way more situational awareness. It's map knowledge, although that is still important in the other games. It's way more of a casual.
Well, because it puts you in third person, it changes. It's a completely different feel.
Correct, and with the auto targeting and things like that, that makes it so it's not so twitchy like a first person shooter person that enjoys that game would enjoy.
What do you mean by technical?
Like acquiring a target
Oh, I see.
and
Okay,
tracking a target.
Yeah, okay, no, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So, like Twitch, you're just
Like that twitchiness.
the twitchiness, right? This does not have that at all. It's more, map knowledge. It's more situational awareness. It's map awareness, just like a MOBA would be.
No,
you need to know where the other players are. You need to know what's on the map, and you need to know how to get there.
So you think
fast.
because this is clearly making a push for esports. They've got spectating set up the way.
Yeah, their spectating setup is really good for just a default game.
Yeah, spectating set up the way that it's. With the character layouts and stuff like that, it's clearly going to be an esports
game. Yeah.
game. You don't think that it's going to grab Overwatch people? It's going to pull away Overwatch.
It's gonna pull MOBA players stronger.
You think?
I feel it's still kind of in the middle. There's overlap,
Sure.
but I think it's leaning as Overwatch leaned more towards the CS:GO crowd.
Yeah.
I think this game is going to lean more towards the MOBA crowd.
Interesting. That is interesting. This is interesting.
Yeah.
No, I get the MOBA feel because they do have the mod system,
Yeah.
which is not gear, but it is like you can mod your character differently. Sorry.
I'll take them. I'm the one who need those.
I had a fidget toy that I was playing with. No, so one feature in the game, you have multiple characters that each have their own style, right? DPS, support, damage, or tank, right? But within those characters, you can do mods, right?
Yeah.
So those mods, I was playing around with them today. They're actually really cool. They essentially, you can kind of stat your, like for example, let's take a tank, right? I can kind of take my tank and make him be more of a, I don't know how to explain it because I haven't gone through all the mods, but like more of a frontline tank, you know what I mean? With different, like one mod allows me to start with, I think it's like 80 HP extra, right? So I'm a little bit more frontline because I can, a little bit more health, right? Stuff like that. Now every character, I was going through it because when I first saw the mods, I was like, I wonder if this could be a little unfair. But the way it works is you're always loaded in with a mod layout. So like every default character has a basic mod setup, which is just 3 different mods, which say lets this ability cool down 2% faster or something, stuff like that. All different. Like if you play the Witch Lady, her siphon takes 25% extra stuff, just anyway. But I actually really like it because you can make it'll make team compositions really cool. So for example, instead of going like 2 TBS, 1 healer, 1 tank, you can go 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and you can kind of, or 2, you can with those mods, you can essentially, your tank is still always going to be a tank, right?
Yeah.
But you can put mods, you can put mods in to where maybe he's a little bit better at DPS. Instead of doing 50 damage, he does 60 damage. It's not anything, like he's still not a DPS character
for instance,
sure.
when you pick a healer, you can go shield, or you can have a mod that like makes him shield. He drops shield heavy, or
so
or
those are
something
your
else.
supers. Every character has 2 supers you can choose from that you
so
can
wait,
change.
what are the mods? Tell me what
explain
the mods then.
So mods are just you go
Because
into
I
your
like being able to choose supers.
Yeah.
Depending on, because that will change the way you play that character too.
Yeah, and we'll actually
Just like Heroes of the Storm. Exactly like Heroes of the Storm.
No, this is a great point.
Yeah, no, and we'll get it because the way we'll get into it a little bit later. But so how mods work is every character has 3 mods. Now, when you play a character for the first time, they have a base set of mods. You have so many mods unlocked to you already. The rest you unlock by getting they're called mod parts, which basically you get by playing the game.
Sure.
Right? You get so many mod parts after the match, right? What mods do is, like I said, for the character that I like to play, his name is El Bastardo. Which, by the way, whoever did character design in this game,
I mean, Jordan's a bastard. He relates.
yeah,
I do,
yeah, that's actually
I
the first
relate
thing-
to that character.
That's my character.
Yeah, he has a mod. Now I haven't looked at all their mods, but he has a mod. He's a tank character, and he has a mod that lets him start with 80 additional health. Right.
Oh, that's cool.
So that makes him more of a frontline tank because he's
Sure.
got a lot of health.
Okay.
Right. If you take a Roadhog, he's got a ton.
And he
or-
adds armor quite a bit, right? Doesn't he? Is that the sword guy that you were playing?
Yeah, so he can pull armor. He can pull health from a character and add it to his armor, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't looked, but maybe there's a mod that gives you an extra percentage of armor, right? Now, as I was looking through all these I haven't looked at all the characters, but as I was looking through all these on all the characters, because you're not immediately locked out of the mods, some of them you do have to unlock. I do still think it's fair and balanced because it's more of a Heroes of the Storm balance, right? You have two characters on opposite teams. Let's talk Heroes of the Storm. Let's say you have a Varian, right? Varian has two separate.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going.
you can. Each of those characters
He can be a tanky character or he can be a DPS character. Right?
Maybe he's a bad example because I still feel like in this, like if you're within your role, like supports and tanks in this game, even if you mod them to do maybe a little bit more damage, they're still their job is a tank. Yeah, he can do a little bit more damage, so he's more of an offensive tank, but he's still a tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now those, I just think it's a very interesting system, and like I said, at first I was interested in it because I thought, oh, is this going to be like unfair? But I don't think it's unfair because everybody has mods unlocked to them from the start, and all your mods are easily unlockable. And what's cool is you can kind of basically filter, like in Heroes of the Storm, gear or not gear, but level that character the way you want to. Now, it's different from Heroes of the Storms, right? In Heroes of the Storm, you play the game and you level your character in the game. All the mods are chosen before the game.
Yeah.
Those you can't change. You can have 3 different mod loadouts, like 1, 2, and 3, for different situations. But anyway, the mod system is really cool. I actually do like it. Going on to what David was talking about, the super system. Now, the super system is really cool. Each character has 2 supers. Not that Ultimates, yeah. You pick one at the beginning of the match, and that's the one you can use. Now, depending on the situation, may depend on the super or ultimate that you want to use, which I think is really cool. And what makes it cool is in this game, just like in Overwatch, you can change characters anytime you need.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. So if you are playing, like, for example, David was playing a support, I think his name was like Cool or something like that, a support character who had a shield.
Cooler Edge.
Yeah. That had a shield. If that wasn't working halfway through the match or when he died, he can go back to home base and switch and then maybe switch his super to something that would, just like in Overwatch. When one strategy's not working, you can go back and...
I thought his name was Zero Cool.
Zero Cool. That's
like
Zero Cool. That's what
from the movie from the 90s.
Zero
Hacker
Cool. That's
from
what
the
it was.
movies.
Zero Cool. He's very Lucio. He has a very Lucio feel to him.
And he plays like Mercy a lot too.
He plays. That's who I was playing. And here's the thing, because it's beta and it's brand new. I jumped in with Jordan, and then Spicy jumped in with Jordan. And immediately I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to be a healer because guarantee you no one's going to be healing. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, we dominated, right? I mean, people that play these objective-based shooters need to know, if you've never played one before, the objective is the point. The objective is the objective. Play it, you'll win, right? If you don't, you're going to get crushed.
Yeah, I would say objective-based game, not shooter. I don't think this is a shooter.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right on there. I think that's
it is a melee, as the trailer tells us.
Yeah, because half the players are melee.
I just love the style of the game. I think they really did a good job of it. It's really got a good feel. It's fun. It's gritty, right? And that grittiness didn't come across to me at E3 like it did today, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at that blood splatter.
It's just... So this is the dojo, right?
Yeah,
where you can test out your players that we have up on screen for those of you listening. But I love the characters. Also, the woman... Is that who you played? The big fat lady? Roadhog. I call her Roadhog's
the
wife.
Roadhog?
Roadhog's wife. Girlfriend, yeah.
Roadhog's wife?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I accidentally walled Mark today.
You better explain that because
don't
go to Urban Dictionary and find out what that means.
Wait, with this dude,
so there's
this guy?
there's a character in the game, Zero Cool, who we were just talking about. Cool. One of his abilities is he can throw up a wall similar to May's ice wall. I didn't know 100% how it worked, and I basically aimed it wrong, and I walled off Mark. But I found out that actually my team can shoot through it.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
can shoot
actually
through it. Yeah.
It's actually funny. And then I actually proceeded to laugh for the next 15 minutes because in my mind, I replayed that one time that Mark walled the Reinhardt
and killed my whole team.
The entire team. That was fun.
On Overwatch.
That was a
May is she's the Yankees, man. You either love her or you hate her.
So let's talk potential for this game, because I actually think I had more fun with it today than I had at E3, and I had a blast with this game at E3. Mm-hmm. Potential, could this be up there with an Overwatch or a League of Legends? They're clearly making this is clearly an esports game. Mm-hmm. Could this become a popular esports game? What's the potential here?
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. The game's fun. The game's just going to get better. The game, the problem with like Paladins, for example, which is a game that came out around the same time as Overwatch.
Yeah, it's high res Studios version of Overwatch, basically.
Yeah, it came out in the shadow of Overwatch. It came out with not as much publicity as this game would have. I feel like Paladins was an excellent game that could have taken off if it wasn't for being in the shadow and not being. I wouldn't say marketed correctly. People didn't necessarily know about Paladins.
Yeah.
That it even existed, right? I think this game, I mean, they are doing a good job at letting people know that, yes, we exist. There's hype building around it. And I think it has a lot of potential. The game is excellent. I like that there's only 4 players on the team instead of 6 like Overwatch. I think that makes the game a little bit more, I would say, simple, in the fact that there's less things going on and people can focus more on objectives.
Yeah.
Right?
I was saying that to Jordan earlier. What I like is that there's 3 healers, 3 tanks, and then 5 DPS characters.
4
basically.
DPS.
4 DPS. No, there's 5.
It's
Is it
pretty.
5?
It's it's pretty balanced. But I mean, yeah, it's
Look, like this, for instance, this is his shield ability that he's just dropping
That's
now
his
on
super
his
is all,
AoE.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do they call it super in the game? Is that why you keep
The
calling it
developer
super?
called it that during the live stream.
I
But
think
you know,
it is-
I'm going
I
to
think
call it
is-
an ult.
I think it is called super. Actually, I think it is called.
But let's
super.
be real.
It's an ultimate.
It's left bumper.
It's an ultimate. I mean, a rose
Super
by,
ultimate.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare.
I like that.
But what's really interesting is you can tell that they're set up for not just competitive, but I feel like they're set up very properly. Because, for example, during the live stream today, they were asked questions about, hey, are you going to do a competitive mode? And they said there's not going to be one at launch, which I think is actually smart. But she did say that that's one of the very first things that they are working on. So I think it's going to be like Overwatch and Heroes and stuff that the game's going to launch. They're going to give you maybe 2 or 3 months or so to get used to the game, to kind of get a meta going, and then they'll release competitive, right? It's what Overwatch, it's what most of these games do, because you don't want to release competitive right out the gate because people don't know how to play properly just yet, right? You know what I mean?
It took Overwatch, I think, a year and a half before people
competitive?
actually started being on an objective, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So there you go. But they talked about
there's environmental kills. I did not know there was environmental kills. I just watched that on
and that's actually a fun part of the map. So on some maps, there's planes that fly over the map that drop air bombs.
Air bombs, yeah.
And it's all like
Well, and if you remember
painted.
the one that we played, which I believe is this map that they're on here, had the train go
Yeah,
through
the trains that
middle.
go through the point. So sometimes you
Yeah.
have to get off the point to let the train go through and then
right,
get on the point. So it kind of adds a little different dynamic. It's not so much that it's annoying, but just enough to keep you aware.
I actually really liked the map that Jordan and I played on today was the
Airdrop
bombs, and I actually really liked it because it kept it. Sometimes it helped you, and sometimes it was like, oh no, I got to move or else I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I actually really, really liked it.
Yeah. Another thing they have that I think they've set themselves up. I think they've looked at what other games have done and they've kind of set themselves up to at least have a good launch, right? They have a thing called it's essentially a spectator mode, but it is one of the best spectator modes I have seen in a game. What you do is you go to it, you click on the mode, and it shows a list of tons of live games that are going on right now. Now, at first I was like, oh, these all must be streamers. I don't think they're streamers. I just think they're legitimate random games happening around the community because I joined a couple of them.
Sure.
And you can just spectate the match. And what's really cool about it is you can go into like a broadcaster spectate mode and have a free camera and look around and fly. And you can basically,
Dude, you could
look
do
around, right? And I think
You could do a whole stream just spectating different
yeah, just
games.
spectating matches, right? And I think what they may do with that is if eventually they get to times when there's tournaments and stuff like that, they may let you spectate and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But I think they're set up for a very good launch. I think if the game is done correctly, it can do very well, especially in the competitive scene.
What do you think it has to do correctly in the competitive scene, in the the E scene?
So you need to get streamers on board.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. You need to that gets the hype around the game. You have to get at this point, whether you like it or not, you have to get high-end streamers
Sure.
or
Playing the
popular
game, yeah.
streamers playing this
Well, here's
game
the
and
thing.
enjoying it.
It is a good game. So, and who do you go after then? If it's
You go after the mobile players.
You just go after the mobile.
You go after the
any
mobile
MOBA
ones.
streamers.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. See, I think another reason Paladins may have not as succeeded as Overwatch is because they went for the same market, yet the Overwatch players are CSGO players. They prefer the target acquisition, the first-person shooter, the technical aspect of the game.
Sure.
I think the MOBA players are where they are going to get.
This is going to be the sweet spot for them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, and with the mod system, I do see what you're saying. It is a little bit more like the mod system isn't like your gear system in MOBAs, like not at all. But it is kind of that similar vein, which does kind of make it lean a little bit towards MOBA, right? I mean, it's not a MOBA, but they have similar elements, right?
Yeah, and I just think the gameplay attracts those players.
Yeah.
I think that's where the similarities are. Obviously, it's not a massive online.
So you get
Battle arena.
So you
Right.
get streamers. We're gonna just assume that they get some big streamers
I think
on board here. But what do you got to do?
I think you do what Overwatch did, right? You create. I think what Overwatch did was really smart, and I think Overwatch had the money to do it. One, because they were popular. Two, because they had Blizzard, right? This can be the same thing. You get it popular throughout your launch. You have Microsoft behind you. I think you start your own league like Overwatch did.
Okay.
Which is really smart. I think you continuously support the game, which is what they're going to do. Every so many months, you add a new character. How does Overwatch do it? Is it 2 characters a year and 1 map a year, or 2 maps a year, 1 character, something like that?
It's supposed to be 2 characters a year, but they slowed that down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
well, and this is set up to bring out new characters.
Yeah, just like in Overwatch, in this type of game, adding a new character, not so much maps in this game as opposed to Overwatch, but adding a new character can completely change the dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Because of their and I really like what Mark said, how you said it's battle awareness, because they do have a dodge system in addition to your abilities. Dodge is basically tied to your stamina. You can essentially disengage from a fight if needed, right? Which I like, because if you're losing or attempt to, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, if depending on who you are and how good the other player is, right? For example, I was playing a character that had 2 dodges, like 2 stamina bars, and you can disengage from a fight or use that to your advantage to, But it was really it's. I really like this game.
It's
That's
a
all,
very
that's
good
all, that's all I
game.
want to say.
Yeah.
What this game? You remember when Overwatch beta came out and we got really excited for Overwatch? This is that same feeling I have, right? The beta came out. I'm excited to play it. It comes out just next month on David's birthday.
My birthday. Happy birthday to this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan was telling me we're getting this for your birthday.
Yeah, that's what Jordan was like. Hey, this comes out on your birthday, right? And I was like, Jordan, don't give me this game for my birthday. Yeah, give me a game that comes out on Game Pass. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
That'd be so
We're gonna
funny.
get you a Game Pass game for your birthday.
It'd be so funny.
This was like my game of the show at
At
E3,
E3, yeah.
and I still think it's just as good. I really like this game. I like the 4 players. I like the map interactivity. As Mark just learned, the map hazards.
Destructive,
So the
environments.
environmentals. Yeah, oh, I did play the map with the train. I just didn't know you can knock people outside of the map and get instant kills
into water and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that. Yeah.
cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that in a lot of games.
What else is really cool is there's one map that I got to play. I think it was called like Aqueduct or something, but it had trains and it had electrical fences. And what happened is the objectives, I think it was like one of the objectives was on like a carousel that just went in a circle, and every once in a while that objective would go through that electrical fence. So you'd have to get off the objective, go around the wall, get back on, stuff
very
like
cool.
that, right? But there's a character, Roadhog's wife or girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, the big lady.
Yeah. Yeah, who can basically do what Roadhog does. She can throw out something and pull them in. I saw someone throw it through the fence, grab a character, and pull them into the electrical fence. Which then that does a
that's
ton of
cool.
damage, right?
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's,
That
I mean,
is really cool.
And when people, I mean, myself included, when you learn more about the characters, you learn more about the maps, the gameplay modes, and stuff like that. I mean, you're going to be pulling off team plays like that a lot, right? Essentially, like in Overwatch, when you get a good team play or something like that,
Or
right?
a MOBA.
Or a MOBA, yeah. So
I really enjoyed this game at E3, and playing this today makes me more excited for this game.
Yeah, that's good.
They really did a good
there's
job.
3 of us.
What I really like, though,
So
I
we need
really
one more
like
guy.
the artwork, and I really like the music. I really like the atmosphere that they provide there. That's what I really didn't expect from this game.
Yeah.
It didn't. At E3, it didn't have that necessarily. It had it to an extent, but you were limited in characters. When you see it in its complete package, it's impressive.
Another thing that they mentioned during the live stream, which I'm sure a lot of people are curious about, they did say during the beta, or beta, because they're European.
Zabita.
The beta.
Here's the thing. This is Ninja Theory, right?
Yeah.
Which means it's Microsoft. Like,
Yeah.
Microsoft can just throw money at this thing and create
Well,
a league and make
that's
it
what I was.
huge.
That's what I was telling David Well, and what I said earlier, if they do their own league like Overwatch did, which I think is one of the smartest things Overwatch ever did, just make our own league.
Yeah.
So if they do that, I mean, and if the game is supported properly and done correctly, this could be your big like, hey, we got, and it's crossplay. So if you have it on the PC or the Xbox and the PC or Play Anywhere is what I mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't cross. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It does not cross play. It is Play Anywhere. So let's get that straight. So before someone gets mad at me, it is not cross play. It is Play Anywhere, which means if I hit level 2 on my Xbox and for some reason my Xbox blows up, I can go over to my PC and continue my progress from where I left off, which, by the way, I think is one of the best features that games can do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So anyway, but one other thing they said during the live stream is, and they worded it kind of funny, but I don't, anyway, I'll get into it in a minute. But they said during the beta and the launch of the game, there's going to be no microtransactions at all. Everything is earned via gameplay, which I think is the correct thing to say because it's just PR, right? But a game like this, I think it's only going for like $39, right? So it's a little bit cheaper than a regular game. It's on Game Pass, right? A game like this is a live service game, right? It needs to be supported somehow, right? I think they're going to implement a in-game store or something. I think the best way to go for them is a battle pass, right? I think that's the best way to go for any game nowadays.
Battle pass and skins.
Well, skins in this game would be
It's
huge.
third person.
Yeah, because it's
look
third
at
person.
Look at the style of this
Yeah.
game too. What you could do with skins and emotes and
Now,
would be really good.
there was a section in the I'll call it the locker room. I don't know what it was called.
Sure.
But anyway.
The dojo.
Yeah, no, well, that's the training grounds.
The dojo room.
Yeah, the pre-dojo room.
The pre-doge.
The suit up room.
The
Suit
suit
up,
up.
yeah.
The suit up
It was
doge.
called something on the main menu. Anyway, there was a skin section that was X'd out because obviously they probably don't want to show off their skins just yet. But a battle pass with cool skins, right? I think that's the best way to go for this game. I really hope they don't go the Overwatch or Heroes of the Storm route, which is loot boxes, because I don't like loot boxes.
They're the scum of the earth.
Yeah, loot boxes.
Loot boxes.
And Overwatch, just in my opinion, is the worst loot box system in all of games.
I mean, I think they would definitely go a battle pass route. That's just
Well,
it
what
makes
you
the
do
most
is
sense.
you do Fortnite and Apex, right? You go a battle pass, and then you also have an in-game store, and that in-game store rotate. Because I like when we played Fortnite a lot.
You're just explaining Fortnite.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what Fortnite. They have the store and they have the battle. They're the ones who created that
yeah,
style.
and
right?
that's what Apex does because you have the battle pass, which you give your $10, right? You get all your cool skins and all that stuff, but every once in a while, Fortnite throws something on the store for $20, and you're just like, whoa.
Holy shit.
I've got to pay that, and then there's another $20 out of here.
Daddy
right?
needs a new tie.
Because I want this game to do good. I want to support the game. I wonder what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? They said no microtransactions during beta and at launch, but I'm curious what they do.
I
in
am
the
very
future
excited for this game.
via
This
in-game store and stuff like that.
This is one of. I mean, this is a game I'm most excited for.
I
right now.
am too.
It's really.
Can't
cool.
wait till
I can't
March.
wait
When's
to
your
dig my
birthday?
teeth in.
March 22nd,
March 24th.
4th. Can't wait.
You
for
don't
that
even know
day.
my birthday.
No,
I don't.
it's in March sometime.
You both are bastards.
I play El
I don't
Bastardo.
care.
Jim the Stuff Guy, you know my birthday? You son of a bitch.
I don't know anybody's birthday.
You're the youngest. That's a reason. And you.
The nice thing about my family, everybody's born on a holiday too. So if a holiday's coming up, I'm like, okay, it's
someone's birthday. And
Yeah, that's true. Because
Yeah, that's how I've always known.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, this game launches on my birthday, March 24th.
But
we'll get it for you for your birthday.
All right, thank you.
But like I said, this game, playing the beta, made me feel like how I played when I played the Overwatch beta. I just got excited. It made me buy the game. I don't have to buy this game because we already have it on Game Pass, but I'm just really excited for this game.
Oh, I'm very excited as well.
And there's three of us. We do need one more person, so
Agreed.
maybe we can hold tryouts.
Spicy, would you like to just put a cherry on top of this to end us out of the bleeding edge discussion? Final thought, final statement.
Oh, okay. I did not know where you were going with that whole.
But do
phrasing.
you think that this has the potential to compete at the same level of an Overwatch, a CS:GO?
Well, I mean, we could also say a Dota or
Yeah, a Dota.
or
Well,
League
I'm
of
saying
Legends.
like a
'Cause actually-
legitimate esports.
Actually, Dota and League of Legends are the two most popular.
Yeah,
esports.
that's what I'm saying. Like, take it to the level, the standard of esports.
It has the potential to do so.
Yeah, I
it's
think so.
It's a good game. They're obviously serious about esports. The way that they set up their whole viewing platform, right? Your what is
The spectator
spectator
mode.
Thank you
What
very
they
much.
said during the live stream. And
Yeah, they are serious about it. It has the potential. The game is meant for it. It's like it's meant for it. You know what I mean? It's a battle arena, 4 versus 4. Everybody has synergistic abilities with each other. There's a lot of cooperation involved. The only thing they lack, I would say, at this point, is hype. Streamers that do it, and then they need leagues, right? And then they need, obviously, the most important thing, the money to back it up, which is sponsorship. And that all comes with, I believe it starts with the hype and all that stuff. So there's a lot of things that need to take place for them to be where they need to be as far as to actually compete on the esports scene, right? To make a dent. But it's there. I think the game is good enough to do it. So
Yeah. It's interesting. Very cool.
I enjoy the game. It's a very fun game to play.
Very, very, very exciting. That brings us to the next portion of our show. This is the news. And before we get to the news, I do want to say on the podcast officially a big thank you to Super Shocker,
Yes.
who sent us a gift for our 300 episode. And us being dumb, we opened it on our 298th episode.
Yeah, there's a whole story behind that.
If you were on the pre-show, you saw this. If you missed it, go look at the pre-show over on Patreon. That goes up there every single week. But we
We're
opened
stupid.
it. We're dumb. And he was saying 300 in chat. But just want to say thank you, Super Shocker. He gave us an awesome chest for our 300 episode with $300 in gift cards
yeah.
to fast food places for our 300th
fast food
episode.
places.
So, it's
And we put the pre-show and the post-show up on Patreon. So
we put them up on Patreon.
if you want to check it out, go check it out there. There's good stuff. So,
Yeah, so anyways, thank you very much, Super Sucker. Jordan, tell us what is happening in the world that is Xbox One.
Another good week, David. There's another good week.
All right. Oh, that's good.
So, Modern Warfare. Let's talk about Call of Duty. So,
Oh, yes.
I just had to cough. Modern Warfare came out with their new Season 2 Battle Pass, which comes
That's
with a
right.
plethora of new...
Plethora. Jordan just dropped the word plethora.
Yes.
Stop the presses.
Ah.
He's a bastard no more. Can we play some music? Let's get
I don't
some
know.
music.
Okay, I don't.
He used the word plethora.
I don't know what music
He's
is.
gone to college. He said, Mama, you called me a bastard. Well, take this plethora of insults. I'm a bastard no more. I use words like plethora.
You're all grown up. Our young man's all grown up.
He's all grown up. Congratulations, Jordan. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just know you'll always be a bastard to us.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Plethora.
Of items and
Season of Call of Duty.
skins and anyway, your typical Battle Pass stuff, right? But that's not really the big news, is it? No, it is not.
No, it's not.
The big news is if you're
Giant.
watching live, the trailer that we're showing right now.
Yeah.
There is a new Season 2 cinematic that plays once you load up the game. This cinematic, no one
dirty.
knows for sure, but we're pretty positive it's a cinematic for the Battle Royale mode. And I think Call of Duty is... Whoever's on their marketing team this year is really good
They went
because
all-stars, yeah.
I think they're doing really well. They're building up this hype for quote unquote we don't know yet, but we're pretty positive the Battle Royale mode. There's a lot of rumors going around the internet.
Why is it that we think this is showing the Battle Royale?
So
mode?
what happens? Let me explain the trailer to you.
Okay,
So
explain
what
it.
happens is
Explain it to
there's
those that are
a
listening.
squad of 3 people
Squad.
and they're running around, or 4 people. I don't
One
know.
guy just gets...
One guy gets domed. And I personally think as he's like laying on the ground, like saying, help me, is the like he's downed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then he gets domed again and he's down.
Yeah.
Like he's gone, right? And then these squad mates kill the guy that killed him. They got out of this airport terminal that they're in, and a fan favorite character by the name of Ghost. Mark, you know Ghost.
I do.
Most Call of Duty players do know Ghost if you played the original trilogy. Drops down on a rope, and he looks at the dead character, and he calls into his radio for Captain Price, and he says, Captain Price, for some reason in Verdansk, they're killing each other. Send me people I can trust. And then he runs away. And then the camera slowly zooms out to show the overview of this whole map. And you see this ginormous map with a bunch of little firefights going on everywhere. Then, across the screen comes a plane.
And there's
with teams
and on the
jumping
outskirts of that
out.
map, there's
Yeah.
explosions going off.
Yeah. And then, so when the plane comes by, you see a team of people jumping out, right? Like dropping into the Battle Royale. And to really top it off, if you look at the very edge of the screen, the map, there's a big green circle of smoke slowly closing in.
I got to see this because we're here at the. I got to see this.
So yeah,
green
so here it
circle
is.
of
So
smoke.
here's the thing. Look at the
there's
top edge. The
I
green
see
smoke
what- I
is
see what you're
slowly
saying.
coming in. And if you look at the map, you may notice some areas from the co-op mode, like the stadium in the top left and other stuff like that. So it's quite a big map. There's been rumors and screenshots and leaks. One of the leaks, I don't want to say confirmed the rumor, but helps the rumor of 200 players because it's a leaked picture in like Russian or something of the menu of Call of Duty. And it says jump into such and such battle with up to 200 players, right? Which is what the rumor was, right? There's another screenshot of they're thinking they're going to call this mode Warzone.
Okay.
And so there's another screenshot of that. And then on the main menu, you know how when you log into Call of Duty, it would say campaign, multiplayer, co-op, settings, right along the main menu. There's a new screen in the middle that you can scroll to, and it just says classified. And you can't see it or jump into it, right? And then on top of that, before the show, I was talking to, I think it was Vorjik in chat, if he's still here. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. But he told me that on the new map that Call of Duty released for Season 2, people found a calendar with the date the 15th circled. So
Oh.
people are speculating,
Whoa.
is tomorrow the big day?
Tomorrow could be
Is
the
tomorrow
big day.
the big day? I hope so. That's Ghost, by the way. The new Ghost character that they've done.
So
But
good.
no, I just think it's a really cool way to hype up your game. It's just fun doing events like this. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
agree.
I was talking to my younger brother, and we were talking.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's doing good. I was talking to him. I mean, we're all pretty positive it's a battle royale mode, right? Watch him come out of left field, and it's like I don't know, nothing. But anyway,
It's gun game.
yeah, gun game. That would be funny. No,
like
we're
a new parachute race game. Like
we're
first one
pretty-
to the ground wins.
yeah, we're pretty sure it's going to be a battle royale.
Pilot wings.
Pilot wings.
He was thinking, we were talking, and I was like, I wonder when they're going to release it. I mean, they're hyping it up a lot. He was thinking they may release it like halfway during the season. I hope they release it sooner, personally, because I mean, this. If all the rumors are true about the 200 players and stuff like that, and especially the gulag, you guys remember we talked about the gulag?
Yeah.
When you die, you get put into the gulag
yeah.
and potentially fight your way back into
Yeah,
the.
I like
into
that.
the
I like
match.
that feature.
I don't know. Anyway, I hope it comes sooner rather than later. I'd rather have it come when it's ready, obviously. But anyway, very good for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I mean, good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
So
Dude, look at the gun safety violations on this trailer.
The gun safety.
Yeah, let me.
violations.
I'm gonna skip ahead real
Okay,
quick.
let's
Right
see.
here, like when the guy like turns back to talk to him, he points the gun like right at his balls. So he takes out this guy right here, pop, and then he's like, "Hey, buddy, listen to this," and he points right at his balls. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That guy didn't pass gun safety
While his
training.
fingers on the trigger.
Yeah, I know. I mean, come on. Oh well. Yeah.
No wonder you're losing. No wonder your team's losing.
I know.
yeah,
Friendly fire. Do you know how many times I've been shot by
Many
my
times.
friends on Tarkov?
Many times.
yeah, a lot. Actually, Tarkov has made me very aware of gun safety.
It really has. Yeah, me too.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah, tell a story.
I was playing Tarkov
Yes.
with a couple of friends.
Ooh, sounds like a good story.
Those friends were Mark and Jono.
Ah, yes. Jono being your little brother.
Yes. Within the same
Very
match,
inspirational.
they
That's why
both
Yeah, go for it.
within
Jordan.
the same match, they both shot me multiple times.
Did you
and I
die?
did not know what was going. No, I almost died.
But your health went
like,
down.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, I was limping out. What had happened was the first time. Let me tell you the first time. So we're in
Slow
a.
down,
Oh, sorry.
Slow down.
Slow down.
We got
Get
to
it-
build
Get it
this.
all out.
We're in a map
There it
called
is.
Interchange, which is
Interchange,
basically a big mall, right?
Yes.
So Jono's on my
It's a
left.
Mall of misery.
Yeah. Jono's on my left, and I said, Jono, I'm behind you to the right. And he goes, okay. And then Mark gives his position. I'm
You have to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to give out your position all the time in this game.
So
This is touchy.
so there's two scavs right in front of us. I took one out because he came directly in front of me, and then Jono took the further one out. And I said, okay, I'm going to loot this scav. Jono then turns to the right and sees another body and starts firing at me. And then what's funny is I think he knew because he fired twice, and I went, whoa, and then he went, oh, sorry, man. And then he just like slowly turned
he
away.
lit Jordan
Yeah,
up.
I was like,
I
oh
was
my
about
gosh.
ready to pounce on him.
Yeah.
That's
He
funny.
knew it was Jordan, and he was several bullets. I was seeing blood splat over the wall.
And
I
then
was
how did you
so
how did you
lucky.
fire at him?
No, I was looting, and then I started getting shot, and I got out and stood up, and my voice started freaking out, like I'm just getting shot, and then John went, oh, sorry, man, that was me, sorry. I thought you were another scab. I was just, so I was like, holy cow, right? And then the second time, which by the way,
in the same match.
oh, the same match, the exact same match, actually within 30 feet of the previous location.
It's true.
So at this point,
As I'm getting emotional.
no, yeah, so I got shot, and then I had to use like my CMS kit, like because I got lit. I am so lucky. I was
Tier
wearing
5 armor.
Tier 5 armor that round.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
I am so anyway,
If there's anything that needs to be learned by this, it's wear Tier 5 armor.
and we need to get better at communication because I'm pretty sure I said I'm gonna loot this body. I'm to your right. Okay. Whoa.
And he just totally just lights you
Yeah,
up.
it's-
like
oh,
a
sorry.
candle.
I get it because sometimes you see a body and you're just scared.
You
So
want to be? You got to first. I'd rather
shoot,
be
yeah.
first than dead.
So anyway, the second time we were heading out because
This is my bad.
yeah, we were
But
heading.
I took out his kneecaps.
Yeah, we were heading out because I don't know. We were just getting ready to leave, right? So we're all falling back to our original positions, right? And there's players after us. Something's going on. We're all tense because
Jordan's
something's going
trying
on,
to
right?
run away.
So
and I turn around and see him. Do you want to build up to this? 'Cause
yeah. So if you think of a map, Jono and
You want
okay?
me to
sorry.
just
You're
mute
good.
you next time? Because oh my gosh, I think that Mike has the coronavirus now.
I was coughing into my arm.
So if
As
you
you're
if you
supposed
think
to
of
do.
if you think of this map, think of like an upside down T, right? There's a long hallway and then there's two exits at the bottom, right? So I was going down and towards the, let's say, southeast exit because I knew there was a weapon crate over there. So I said,
He was
hey,
running away.
yeah. So
from
I said,
us.
hey guys, I'm gonna go get a weapon crate over here. Be right back. So
I didn't hear the be right back. I just heard you say you're going that way.
well,
Okay.
it gets better
So when I
because.
see another guy running towards me.
Well, no, this is still way before you shot me. There's one more line that you didn't hear.
Oh, okay, okay. What
Same
was
line that Jono didn't hear. So anyway, I get the weapon crate, which by the way, there was nothing in there, so I was a little bummed out. So I said, okay, guys, I'm coming back. I'm coming to your side. And you guys are both focused on that player, right?
Yes, behind us.
And Jono says, Jordan, are you coming in the building towards the middle? And I said, yeah, I'm standing at the boxes. I'll look for this player while you guys, get out, right? So I turn and look at the player, and then all of a sudden, I just start getting, like, domed.
No, you said
In the head?
he's coming after you.
Oh, that's
Jordan told me he's coming after you.
No, so
I
I said-
turn around and I see this Tier 5 armor dude
No,
running after me.
I'm not running. I'm stationary shooting at him.
You were coming towards me. No. I heard he's coming after you, and then I see a gentleman. I did not know it was a good guy coming towards me
So
in
Mark
Tier 5
starts-
armor. So what I do is I break his legs.
Start sliding me up. And,
I don't like you. I hit your legs, man. I wanted you not to be able to walk towards
And
me.
Jono goes, whoa, Mark, that's Jordan. And I was like, whoa. And then I had to use my CMS kit again.
So no,
That was actually-
don't get into a firefight with you guys on my team.
It was actually one of the funniest matches
No,
we've been on.
scenarios.
Still, of all things, I think, David, you're the one who actually gets kills. You get team kills.
That's true. Although when I did get that kill, we all agreed that I should shoot that person. yeah, that's
We
him.
all voted.
That's him.
Yeah, right.
That's him. Shoot him. That's the body.
And then
it
pop.
was Jordan.
Yeah.
That's the joy of that game. It's a good
I feel
game.
like I get shot a lot by my own team in that game.
Yeah. No.
Although one time I did shoot my own team.
You broke my leg.
When did I break your leg?
Factory.
Did I shoot you? When?
You shot me in the leg. You broke my leg, and I had to hobble out.
With the handgun.
With
That
a
was
pistol,
funny.
yeah.
No, there was one time we were
So
pla-
another time then.
Yeah, no. There was one time we were playing with Ronan, good friend of the community, and I saw a bad guy, so I turned to full auto and just lit him up.
and it was Ronan.
Well, Ronan happened to be behind that guy, and he took a little, crossfire, I guess, if you will.
Well, because you brought the armor pin ammo.
I
It's
think
probably going through
it
their
went
body.
through my guy and then hit Ronan. It was pretty funny. So, but anyway, that's a fun game. Man.
Well, Jordan, he doesn't just kill a guy. Okay, he uses a 60-round mag and keeps shooting at the guy.
He shreds him apart.
Yeah, he does not make the mistake that guy is still alive.
I also buy $1,000 rounds.
That's nice.
$1,000 rounds on 60 mags.
Yeah.
He's bringing in 60K of one magazine.
No, but that is a fun game.
That is
And
super fun.
That happened this week. That was funny though.
The Xbox equivalent of it, or the Xbox similar game to it, similar style, is Vigor, and that's a game that I've been super into The last
Vigor
couple
came out.
weeks.
Did we talk about it last week?
Vigor
Season 2?
came out with season 2,
Yeah.
and they made all of the fixes that I would make, and it's really fun.
I agree.
I've been going through that game. There are some criticisms that I do still have in that game, and that is, what is it when you both die? That's called something. Trade. You
Kill
trade
each other
Death?
You trade. You're trading, right? There's
when you both melee each other
when
in
you
Halo.
both kill each other. Yeah. That
Oh.
happens. That happens too much in this game, so they've got to fix that somehow. For instance, yesterday during 4 hours of playing that game, that happened to me almost 4 times. Right, like where I trade deaths with people. Like they kill me, I kill them. That shouldn't happen that much. Like
Maybe. I mean, the alternative is, so what's happening is they're using servers. If it goes peer to peer, then it introduces a whole bunch of other issues.
yeah,
Where
I mean, maybe you're
one
both-
person just has the advantage.
Maybe you're
like
both
crazy.
legitimately just at the exact same skill level.
but that
Have you ever thought of
often-
that?
But that doesn't happen in any other game.
All
Like,
I'm saying is maybe you should practice more.
yeah, true. Anyways, Vigor, guys, if you want a similar to Tarkov experience, Vigor.
No,
is
it's super fun. They came out with season 2,
A lot of fun, yeah.
which is much better than season 1. Like David said, they fixed all the stuff. It's much better to get
It's
experience.
fantastic.
You're actually rewarded for playing the game,
Yeah.
which is really cool. Moving on to the next news story, Darksiders Genesis.
Genesis is here.
This is a game I've yet to play it, but it just came out today.
Darksiders,
It's a,
always a good time.
Yeah, it's basically a Diablo-esque game, and I think Jim will pull it up so you can see it right here. Darksiders Genesis, but it's super good. It's super cool looking, right?
Uh-huh.
So I just wanted you guys to know that.
Yeah, no, Darksiders looks really
So
good.
it's a Diablo style game, top down, asymmetric, right? Dungeon crawler, but it's really cool. So it's out now today, and be sure to check it out.
So the release date is today. That's
Yep.
that's what the news is.
Yeah.
Because I really haven't figured out what the story was
Yeah,
yet.
No,
just that it dropped today.
it
'Cause
dropped
I think
today,
George's
yeah.
trying to sell the game. A little bit. It sounds
Well, you
like
guys
it.
like no
Sounds
one
like
is
it.
no one is saying anything.
Well, because you're like Darksiders.
Because I'm waiting for the news story.
We're waiting
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
like,
well,
news has
no,
a punchline.
It's literally a new game that just came out today, and it's different from your regular Darksiders because it's a dungeon crawler, right?
yeah.
James, can you skip halfway through the trailer so they can see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I want to see the gameplay.
Right there.
Nope. Nope.
This looks like all cinematics.
Is
The
it's like-
entire trailer is cinematics.
well, we did a cinematic trailer, but that's okay.
I mean, the
well,
cinematics looks
we
very
did our best.
Diablo-esque.
Yeah, well,
It
we
looks
did our
Diablo-esque.
we did our best. All right. Anyway,
so the
moving
news
on.
is it came out today.
Yeah.
Oh, good for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want me to find one?
No, it's okay. I think we're
Well,
past
we
it.
killed this news story.
All right.
Well, Darksiders is a good series.
No, it
It's
really
really good
is.
series,
It really is. So,
So check
now-
out that game.
Now they're coming out with a new one. So
Next.
big one. Division 2
Oh, yes.
is coming out with a
We're
new
going back to New York, baby.
expansion.
Expansion.
Right? Oh, and actually,
Do you need help?
no.
Help.
Sorry, I'm
I
getting
mean,
distracted.
David's the one on medication.
No,
I can
I'm
help
getting,
you.
I'm getting distracted. So, Darksiders 2 or Darksiders 2. Oh my gosh, Darksiders
Should we
Genesis.
just fire him? Like right
Yeah,
here?
Yeah. It's out. The reason it's big today is because it came out on console today. It's been out on PC for a while,
There
and
you
it's
go.
finally made its way over to console today.
Yes.
Now
Can I-
moving on.
Can I go over the Division 2 news
Yes.
then? Division 2 Warlords of New York, is that what the expansion
Yep.
is being called? I believe it is. Warlords of New York. It's the expansion. It is coming to New York. Prior to this trailer release that came out this week that announced all of this information, there was a trailer, there was a live episode where they went through everything. Gameplay. They explained it all. Division 2 went on sale for $2.99 on the Microsoft Store.
Like
leading up to this.
$2.99?
$2.99, yeah. So I purchased it. Even though we already had it, I purchased it for myself so that I could have it on any box
Yeah.
that I wanted. 'Cause you can't beat that. I think.
Are you sure it was
after
Division
tax-
2?
Division 2, yes. $2.99. In
Yeah.
fact, it might still... Check it. Check your phone. Check.
I bet
someone-
you just bought Division 1.
No.
I think you're stupid.
Look at everybody. Yes, everybody in chat. Division
that's
2
funny.
was $2.99 leading up to this. I believe this one is going to be $29.99 for the expansion when it comes out. But we're going back to New York. We're going back to New York in summer, which is really refreshing because New York did get stale in winter. Can we agree on that? Like, it just kind of felt bland after a while
Yep.
and dead.
It was cold.
It was cold.
It
It
was
was very
Well,
cold.
And so you're going to, I think it's Lower Manhattan this time. So you're not in the exact same place, but
Yeah.
you're in Lower Manhattan. They have 4 different zones that kind of each have their own flavor, right?
And they're with their own boss
Yeah.
that leads up to the main boss. What is his name? Aaron Keenan?
yeah, Aaron Keene or something like that. The guy from the first one.
From the first one,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
So basically,
Keener. There we go. DJ
basically,
Hero. Thank you very
it's
much.
essentially set up like Ghost Recon Wildlands and stuff. You have all these underbosses that you need to go through and defeat to get to the main boss, which is Aaron Keener. But each boss is within a zone, and those zones, like I said, kind of have their own flavor. Like one zone is kind of a swampy, urban area, right? One zone was hit by a hurricane.
The bosses each have their own like specialty. Like one is an ex-cop that's super. He looks super beefy.
Yep.
Has like big heavy ammo. He teams up with the Rikers, right? One teams up with the Cleaners. So it's very. I think they've done a really good job
bringing back the classic. I like the Cleaners. I mean,
yeah,
garbage
guys
men
that light everything on
banding
fire.
together, lighting on. Yeah,
Why not?
that's the faction I would.
But
join.
you can now, so with this expansion, you'll be able to travel between Washington, D.C. and New York in game, no problem. If you have not played Division 2 and you want to jump in, again, it's only $2.99. But if you want to just start right away, you can start at level 30 here with Warlords of New York. This, I think, sets the level cap to level 40.
Yeah, bumps it to 40.
They've also made some adjustments with Dark Zone, how Dark Zone works, tweaking it a little bit, making it matter a little bit more. Dark Zone basically is a Tarkov-esque experience in theory, right? So I think they're trying to just perfect it and make it more risk-reward capable. I don't know if that's the right word that I'm looking for, but overall, I watched the entire thing. I watched the gameplay go through it. It looks cool, man. It
super
makes
fun.
you want to. Division is very solid game.
One of the biggest changes they're making, which a lot of Division players are really liking, is they're completely 100% revamping the loot system.
Oh yeah.
And apparently the current loot system is not super great, so they're revamping the loot system, which, by the way, all these updates, like the loot system, I know they're making some end game updates that a lot of players are excited for, because we've heard from people in our community that the end game is kind of just
Bland.
You know,
that
yeah,
was
so-
what Division 1 suffered from, though, too.
Yeah. So we hear the end game's going to be better. We hear the loot system's going to, which a lot of Division players are excited for. But all those updates and stuff are free to all players. The only thing that you'll have to pay for is just the new content of the expansion, as in the Warlords of New York.
Basically,
area, stuff
going
like
back to
that.
New York in summer.
So all those loot updates.
Look how cool it
the new
looks.
the
Doesn't it
new
look so
system, the new watch thing that they're going to have, where you upgrade certain aspects of your character. Like once you hit max level, you'll start upgrading your watch, which will then give you different stats, like plus this, plus that, all this different stuff. But the game looks super good. I'm really excited. I actually re-downloaded the Division because I want to beat it and catch up for this, because this gets me hyped up for Division again. I mean, it's a cool game.
It really
and
is.
I never finished it. I kind of fell off. I don't know what game I started playing to fall off this game, but it looks cool.
It does. It really does. I just like going back to New York. The way they've put it all together, the bad guys that they've set up for you, the bosses that they've set up.
Yeah.
It really has.
Well, and oh, sorry, go ahead.
It just really has this mature, fleshed out feeling to it.
Yeah.
That I think if done right, Division's back.
Well, what's really funny is they're really like it's totally the Ghost Recon gameplay loop, if you will, right? It's all rogue agents, right?
Yeah.
Just like in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. You have to go after the certain underbosses first, like in Wildlands, to get up to the new boss. It's you could tell they're from the same studio.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Well, Ubisoft anyway, but
Yeah.
anyways, super cool.
There you go.
Same publisher.
Warlords of New York.
And
Division expansion.
it is coming out incredibly soon. I believe it's coming out in March. Hey,
Happy
Red.
birthday to this guy.
Yeah, that is a
We'll get it for you for your birthday.
So.
Actually, I think we actually have to pay for this one.
Yeah, this one you
Never
No,
mind.
but I actually got really excited. The reason I mentioned it's similar to Ghost Recon is I really like the way Ghost Recon is also a Ubisoft game. It's done by a different developer, but I really like the Ghost Recon style of going after the underboss, kind of destroying the Empire and working your way up. I thought it was actually a really good gameplay loop, so I'm actually excited the way they're doing it is similar to that.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's a good gameplay style, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, next we have State of Decay 2. So check this out. State of Decay 2 launched they didn't launch, they announced their Juggernaut edition, which is coming out again in March 13th.
March
now,
is a big month.
it is a big month. It's really cool. Basically, this is essentially, what do you want to call it? Your Game of the Year edition, your Big Boy edition that comes with everything. So it comes with everything previous, right? It comes with a brand new open world map, which if you're watching live, you're seeing right now. It comes with new weapons and the big part.
When you say brand new open world map, like there's an additional area.
Well, no. So how State of Decay works is when you load in, you pick a map that you want to play your game on.
Think of it like
okay.
City Skylines. You know how you
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So this one comes with a brand new one. Comes with new weapons, a bunch of new stuff. But the big thing, which I'm interested to see, is it comes with a graphical improvement. And if you saw that
Well, it
in the
does look
trailer
good.
here,
Yeah, it does look.
they kind of showed like old and new, which is pretty cool. So, but anyway, this is actually a really good game. We played
a
it when
great
we
game.
played it when it first launched. We played it for quite a while actually. My only complaint at the time is I wish the co-op was a little bit more co-op. Does that make sense? I like co-op because remember, like I couldn't progress certain things in my game when I was playing with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To me, true co-op is essentially
full progression on both sides.
yes, yeah. How Dead Rising did it, stuff like
Dead
that,
Rising
right? Full
3.
progression of everything on both sides. Now I understand Dead Decay 2, you have your own, let's say home base, right, where that you upgrade that I obviously can't do in your world, but true co-op games to me are that full progression on both sides, right? Now, I mean, I haven't played it since then, right? So maybe they've made a few adjustments, but no, the game is really fun, and there's the remastered graphics if you're watching right here. So
That's exciting.
Looks drearier
yeah,
Drearier.
in a
In a
zombie
good way.
world. Yeah, in a good way.
Look how sad everyone looks. Look at the
Yeah,
characters.
they look more sad.
I mean, that's what you look like in a post-apocalyptic
You can
zombie.
see, you can really see the emotional scarring in their faces.
New heavy weapons, like a big old axe. All right, next we got Project. This is for David and James. Actually,
Yeah, it came
this
to
is for you.
iOS.
Yeah, it came to iOS. I think it's in very Project X Cloud.
Oh,
came to
okay.
iOS. It's not for everybody. It's not like public. It's essentially very limited. But it is coming. It is on iOS for certain users who are in the beta program.
So to sign up for it, you can go into the App Store, download it, and apply and stuff. However, I think it's filled up, and it filled up fairly quickly. But they're opening it up like sporadically.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So
They'll probably do what they do like with their Xbox Ring, right? They open it up slowly over time, right? And then eventually it'll be fully released.
because of the way that it works with iOS, and because of the approval process, like through the App Store and stuff, there is only one game available on Project X Cloud on the iOS version, and that is Halo.
So that's how Android started. It started with about 4 games or something like that. I think it was like Killer Instinct, Halo. But now we have a plethora.
A plethora. There's that word again. Plethora.
Yeah, we're not
I've-
as excited.
I've heard that it is difficult going through the Apple Store.
Yes. Well, because they check everything, right? So I know.
They don't want their system to break.
Yeah. So I know, for instance, like the company I work for, whenever we update the app, like we don't care about Android. We care about iOS. And and the reason is because if it passes iOS, it passes Android. Like,
But
it's
what
just-
are
it's
like Android's requirements?
2 seconds to go through Android.
Does Android
versus
have requirements?
Apple. Yeah, but it's a lot less
Looser.
stringent.
Like
yeah.
more freedom?
No, just
no.
less quality control.
Yeah, that's
More,
that's
more
key.
we want.
More
people.
like just come.
Just
everyone
come over here.
Come with your
All are
diseases.
welcome. All are welcome.
That's fine. No, well, that's interesting.
And so we always do and iOS first.
Does it take a long time to
Because
go
it
through
takes
the
longer to be
Does it take a
approved
long
and
time to go through their approval process?
I don't know, like length changes, but it takes longer.
Interesting.
Like every update has to be approved and then goes through, and then you'd have to test it. So like right now,
Well, I mean, I know
like
that's
right now we have a like the new update is on a test flight. So
Yeah, no, well, like I know that's what like Microsoft and PlayStation do. It just seems like it's very difficult running through iOS.
yeah, xCloud, iOS. This is very exciting. It's going everywhere. You can see the future, guys. The future is bright, and the future is going to be streaming. Streaming, Game Pass. You can see how anybody that's still stuck on Xbox, if you're getting away from hardware, there's no reason for me to own an Xbox. Xbox doesn't care if you own an Xbox. Like, Xbox wants you in their ecosystem.
They want you.
That's
with
the
Game
reality.
Pass.
Yep.
Yeah. Netflix doesn't care if you own a Netflix box, right? They want you in Netflix. They don't care where you're watching it from. Same with Xbox. They want you to be playing their games on their software, wherever that is, however that is. So, and you can see it's coming, and it's coming fast.
Which has now expanded to iOS. So
Which is
good
now
for them.
expanded to iOS, yep, there
which
you
is
go.
pretty cool. The last news story we have is not necessarily for Xbox, but Final Fantasy VII
Oh yeah.
remake released their opening cinematic, which looks really good. Now, the reason I say it's not necessarily for Xbox, I mean, it is for Xbox, but Final Fantasy VII will be releasing first on the PlayStation in April, and it is a timed exclusive.
Wait, did I see that this got pushed back on Xbox?
No,
To 2021?
that's what I'm explaining right
Oh,
now.
okay, sorry.
This is the news story.
Yes.
This is Jordan's segment.
Oh, sorry, George. Sorry. So shut up, David. Okay.
So
This is my time, David.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So, Final Fantasy VII Remake is releasing on PlayStation in April, but it's like a timed exclusive similar to like Tomb Raider when it was there for a year and then went to everywhere else.
Yeah.
So same with this. Final Fantasy will be on PlayStation for about a year, and then it will come to they haven't really announced which consoles, but I mean,
Did I
really
read
guess.
though that it was supposed to be at a certain time and they pushed it back a year later, like another year? Maybe that was a different
I
game.
don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm foolish. I'm stupid.
Well, yeah, probably. I don't know.
I'm always. I'm
It's
pretty
okay.
stupid
Well,
these days.
we're gonna give you a free to pass here.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
on drugs.
I'm on
and
drugs
sick.
today. Yes.
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
so it's coming to PS4 exclusively on April 10th. It's a limited time exclusivity, is expected to last for a year, which then after that limited time, it'll then go to
cool.
other
The
platforms.
game looks good.
It looks beautiful.
No, yeah, it's the
I like
opening
style.
cinematic. Yeah,
Oof.
you're gonna see your friend in just a minute here, Mark.
Oh, here we go. Here's your friend, Mark. Here he comes. Here she comes. She's a little girl.
No.
Want me to fast forward it?
Yeah, fast forward.
Tell me when to stop.
There we go.
Oh yeah, she was my healer.
She's your healer.
Yeah.
Dude, she looks very healish.
Well, thank you.
She looks
I
like
guess.
she's in tune with like crystals and
Life essence.
life essence. She forages for healing properties, natural healing
good.
remedies.
That's good. It's a good game.
She's legit.
Hopefully, this is good too. I assume it will be.
Yeah, and they're revamping. So for Final Fantasy VII, they're revamping like the entire game, like the way
It's
that
going
it
to
works
be
and stuff.
It's basically a different game with the same story.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. That's cool, because that's not like, oh, I really liked Final Fantasy VII, but it's kind of dated, right? This is like, no, we're doing it justice.
Well, it's what they did with Resident Evil, right?
And
Yeah, it's
look
basically
how
the
good
exact
that-
same
look how
thing they
good
did.
that-
and
yeah,
and that game is awesome.
it's true. Hashtag truth.
Thank you.
The real bummer is if you don't have a PlayStation, you will have to wait a year. But I mean, I guess you can
There's
just
a new
watch it.
story that dropped today. Speaking of PlayStation,
Or you could get a PlayStation.
Or you get a PlayStation.
if you're able to. But no, yeah, I don't know. I think I'll probably be buying this on the PlayStation.
And then
I don't
rebuy
think
it on
I have the
Xbox.
willpower to wait a year.
You know, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
And
for a
Final
game.
Fantasy VII is one of the big ones that a lot of
That's
people
the
agree
big
is one of the
boy.
best Final Fantasy games.
It's a really good story.
is Final Fantasy VII the one with Cloud?
Yep.
Yes,
He-
with the big sword.
You're going to see him
Yeah.
in just a minute.
It starts on the train where you come off the
Hey,
train.
you're right there.
Do they do that here too?
James, you want to fast forward a little bit? We'll get right there to the trade. Right there.
He hops off the train. Yeah, there's the train. There you go. This is how the game starts.
Oh, dude, check him out.
It's a really good. It's a long game.
Is
Like,
it really?
3 discs back in the day.
3 discs, and every disc was like 100 hours of gameplay. It's a long game,
Yeah.
Very, very.
but
very
they do things in this game that I think were
Cool.
unique. Some of the characters are not as indestructible as you would have hoped. Basically,
Oh, really?
in a way to put it.
Permadeath?
I'm not gonna say anything. It's just basically this is the 24 of Final
Well,
Fantasy.
so
Oh, okay, so everyone dies except Cloud.
no. So
No, but you don't expect.
well, there's one. So
there's certain you don't expect things to happen, and
That
they happen.
Okay.
Whereas in other games, like let's take a show like Star Trek.
Sure.
You know that guy's gonna die because I've never seen Ensign, Ensign
442.
Johnson before,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But all the main characters, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
But they do some things emotionally.
There's a lot
with
of
your-
gray areas here.
Yeah, it's good.
So when Final
That's
Fantasy
cool.
15 was coming out, they said that they wanted some scenes in the game to be as emotional as Final Fantasy 7. And that's why I was like, "Oh, wow," because there's some parts in Final Fantasy 7 that really make you
Cry.
yeah.
Well, especially if you gave certain characters all the gear that you gave them, and then you lose all that gear.
You know what I mean?
That's funny. That is funny.
It's a good game. Anyway, coming in April if you have a PlayStation, but then it'll come to other platforms after about a year of exclusivity. But very cool cinematic.
Did you have a news story in there about Outriders?
Oh, I did. Did we skip that one?
We did skip
We
that
did
one.
skip that one. Outriders.
That made some big news this week.
Yeah. Speaking of Square Enix.
Yeah.
So Square Enix, I believe, publishes this game. I forget who the developer was. I think it's the same developer that did this. What was that offshoot Gears game? Judgment. Gears of War Judgment.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
I don't think Epic did Judgment. I think it was this developer, like aside. Anyway, but this game is basically a co-op loot and shoot game.
Yeah.
Like it looks really cool. It kind of came out of nowhere.
If you look, it's very Gears-esque.
Yeah,
With
like the
some-
cover
with
system.
some
It's
Square Enix fantasy.
Gears X esque
Esque, yeah.
meets Mass Effect powers.
Mass Effect Powers.
No, really, it is.
Meets Metal Gear Story.
Yeah.
It got a lot of hype this week because they dropped a couple trailers. They dropped a gameplay trailer, and then they had a live like explanation of the game and where it's going and what's happening here with it. Go look up the Outriders trailer if you've not seen it and all the information. It looks interesting. Whether or not this stands up and is as fun and keeps you in it, we'll wait to see. But it is fascinating. It does look cool. It looks fun. It's going to be interesting to see where this comes. Now, what is the release date for this? The dev is People Can Fly. That's right. People Can Fly.
People can fly. Yeah. It's holiday 2020, and it's said to come out on Series X.
There you go.
Along with, of course, the regular Xbox
Yeah.
as well. But it will be one of the early. What they're saying is will be one of the early titles for Series X.
Yeah, and if you look, so they're going through the gameplay. You've got a character screen similar to a Destiny character screen where you have your weapons, your loots, or the item right there.
Yeah.
And then on the right hand side there, you've got your armor and stuff that you can do with your character. It even has the mouse, look like how you're scrolling over, similar to a Destiny, right? So it looks like a combination of a lot of different games, and it looks cool, man. It really looks. I like the third person cover. Look at there's your magical powers.
Yeah, Mass Effect.
There's your Mass Effect powers. Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, so People Can Fly developed Judgment, Gears of War Judgment, which you can tell when you go into like cover, and then Bulletstorm, if you guys remember that game as well.
Oh, that's right. It's the guys that did Bulletstorm. I knew that. Yes.
So very cool. But no, I mean, like you said, it's all those games combined. I mean, it's shooter, looter with sci-fi magic
Yeah.
and a story, and it's co-op.
I like that part. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that guy's got a sweet beard and hairstyle. So
There you go. There you go. That brings us to the last segment of our show. This is the portion of the show where we take your questions. You can submit a question each and every single week over at Patreon, patreon.com/positive gaming, or x1bros.com/support. Before we get to that, though, we talked about Anthem last week and whether or not they can revive that game and save that game. Anthem actually released this. It's like they listened to us, and then they're like, you know what, guys? Did you listen to the X1 Bros? I did.
Yeah.
We need to make a statement
I'm sure we have that much clout.
because
are you
Anthem,
talking about their like written story?
Anthem came out with a statement on basically their
Plan?
on their plan for Anthem, and that the game is not what they want it to be. However, with their current systems, they basically can't fix it. So they're starting from the ground up. It sounds like they're going to release an Anthem 2, basically, where everything is reworked from the ground up. They're going to continue to support Anthem while they work on this, but they are starting from scratch for what sounds like an Anthem 2. I don't know if they said Anthem 2 in the statement. I read through it, but I don't remember.
A undisclosed game.
But it's basically another edition of Anthem. So interesting, right on cue. I mean, you want to know what developers are going to be talking about? Listen to this show, because we're on the cutting edge.
We have clout.
The cutting edge is us. Our first question comes from the man, Super Shark. And I did not realize what he wished us. He basically wished us a happy Valentine's Day. in his postscript.
That's what
So
we were
thank you.
laughing at the beginning of the
So
show.
Thank you very much, Super Shark. Here's what he says, though. He says, Brothers of X, being Valentine's Day, I have a few questions. What game will you love forever? What game did you break up with but eventually will get back together? And have you had a one-night stand with a game that you regret? This is a hilarious question, and I love it. Let's start with Spicy, and let's start with game you will love forever.
I mean, these are a lot. This is big. These are big questions.
I'll go with mine. Red Dead Redemption, both 1 and 2.
Yeah.
This is a game that will hold a special place in my heart, and Red Dead Redemption is a love you forever type of game for me.
I mean, it could be any nostalgia game that I grew up with, like Link to the Past, Zelda. I love that game. I think I'm gonna do that one. That one's mine because, and I'm really grateful that they have the randomizer Link to the Past, because then you can just replay it as many times as you want, and it turns into like Binding of Isaac, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Just like it changes the game. I'm gonna say Link to the Past. That's my favorite game of all time.
Nice.
So.
Jordan, love you forever.
Witcher 3.
Oh, man.
Solid.
I thought that would be the
Okay,
game you
I'm going to
break
start
up
with Jordan on this one. What game did you break up with, but you'll eventually get back together? The toxic relationship game.
I
The
don't
passion. The fiery passion.
I got mine. If he wants to keep thinking about it.
know. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of games I could say, right?
Okay,
Probably
but we go with Spicy first. What do you think about it?
Overwatch.
That was
Overwatch,
mine.
really?
I've uninstalled that game many times. Uninstalled, reinstalled.
Why?
Because
Well, 'cause-
sometimes you just get so angry.
You get mad at your teammates that are dicking around in a competitive match. The Jordan actually mentioned this before the show. He's like, "Do you remember that? Do you remember that one time when you uninstalled Overwatch because Farrah was sitting there playing the electric guitar?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, you're dang right. I'm going to uninstall it. If I am in a competitive, this is not quick play.
Yeah.
This is a competitive match. My points are on the line.
That is
My
funny.
MMR is on the line, and we have a Farah doing the electric guitar emote in the spawn.
Yeah. See, and I can feel, and this, I don't know. I just gotta. I gotta.
Jewel, manage, uninstall, go outside, enjoy my family.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Sorry, Jordan.
Oh no. Good.
No, so and
He's
then
meant it. Wow,
and
you both. I mean, this is like therapy. This is like couples therapy.
then and then I mean, I played that game yesterday because I do not want to not get my season emote thing for playing the seasons. So I played all my matchmaking or whatever, the matches where it tells you where. Help me out, matchmaking.
Placement matches.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I could
You
not
only
remember
need
the word.
five
for
Been one of those days.
You only,
Holy
you
cow.
only need to do it with one character now, and 5, right? You don't need to do all 15.
Yeah, you only need to do 5 matches. So I'm still doing that every 90 days. I'll play that game
Yeah.
just to make sure I get that profile
badge.
pick. Yeah. So Overwatch for me.
Overwatch and
Yeah.
Overwatch for
Overwatch
sure.
is-
For me, it's probably Madden because of lag.
Yeah.
That game, lag. Oh,
You know, why don't they fix that?
I don't know. No other game experiences that. I don't understand why Madden does. It's very
You
frustrating.
know, I have a question.
When you
Why
get up
don't
into
they
upper
fix that?
levels, though, you don't experience it. It's only at this lower level, and I think people do it on purpose. I really do. I have a theory that is being done on purpose at lower
They're
levels.
lag switching.
I think
But-
at lower levels.
But can't you prevent that though?
I don't know.
Is it because it's one-on-one?
I don't know.
Is it peer to peer or is it server based?
I don't know.
It has to be peer to peer if that's what's going on.
Yeah, which I don't know why you just don't.
I don't
Here's the thing, though. So their FIFA series doesn't have this issue, like not in the way that Madden does, and it's always just happens to be on a field goal. Always, it just happens to be when you're going to take the lead on a field goal.
Where the only quick time event button thing that you have to do
Is AA, and when it lags, your input you can tap A 1,000,000 times and it doesn't input, and you miss the field goal.
it has to. Does anyone know if that in chat? Do you know if that game's peer to peer? Because if it was server based, I don't think you would have those issues.
Yeah, which I don't know why they don't have. Like in 2020, why is it not server based?
Cash money.
Well, Madden's
It's
a popular
EA
game.
and it's Madden.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. They have the money, but the goal here is to use as little amount as possible to maximize the money you bring in.
So we've gone over what game will you love forever and game that you break up that you know you'll eventually get back together. I thought you were going to say Call of Duty. Spicy.
Oh no, I've never gotten back together with that.
Okay, okay. In chat for Love You Forever, we had Loyal Doyle said Fallout, which is a very solid pick, and Defense Trader said Witcher. Last one. Have you had a one-night stand? A game you've had a one-night stand with and you regret?
Of course. You know mine. I hate Brink.
No, Brink was your
Brink,
one-night
yeah.
stand.
Yeah, I hate that game. I was real excited too, just like a one-night stand.
Now you're bitter. Yeah.
Now I'm way bitter.
Now you feel dirty.
Just like a one-night stand.
Used.
There's nothing I think that's more descriptive
you
of
feel-
my experience with the worst game I've ever played in my life.
You feel used. Yeah, I get it.
And you feel like you need to change your phone number.
Yeah.
Just
Jordan, how about you? Any?
I don't know. That's hard. I can't think of any.
Yeah, a
What do you
game
got, yeah.
that I've played
And
maybe
I
that you were
regret?
like that you regret that you're
Spartan Assault,
Spartan Assault. Yeah, that one was pretty bad.
and I like Halo.
yeah.
I mean, I never mind. I can't say what. Well, you like one-night stands sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe the game One Night Stand.
Yeah, but this is one that you regret.
Oh yeah, Brink.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah,
that game.
Yeah.
Actually, funny enough, me and Jordan were having this conversation earlier. So I've been playing a lot of Battlefront these last
Okay.
couple weeks. It's a really good game. I found out that they use bots all over the place in that game, and it was really disheartening. I stopped playing it because I have to digest the fact that some of the people that I'm killing
You felt lied to.
aren't real people.
It's like finding out the hot lady in front of you was manufactured.
Which is
Yeah.
really interesting because the map is only, is it 20 versus 20? So it's only 40 players. Like why are they using bots?
And how long have they been? Have they been doing this from the beginning?
No, for like a year.
Similar to what Fortnite.
Correct.
Has done.
Exactly. I know why they do it is so they can have the mix of good players and bad players be happy with their gameplay. You know what I mean?
Why don't you just use MMR?
That would solve a lot of the things. Yep. That would do it. But yeah, it was really disheartening. The fact that I mean, let's take a game like Titanfall. You know the AI. They put AI in there.
Grunts, yeah.
The little but they look different and they act very different, and you don't get as much points for
Yeah,
them.
it says you killed a grunt, 1 point.
Yeah, right.
Or
So
whatever, right.
it makes the battlefield look more intense and exciting, and it gives other players something else to shoot at, right? Like your lesser skilled players. But man, it was disheartening to find that out. And how I found that out is I was capturing a point, and Robot ZB0145, which I thought was a weird name for a player,
Yeah.
he was doing some really weird, bizarre stuff. Like he was just like, eh.
See, what's funny is they do it. So I saw those names too. I was playing against the First Order, and when I killed someone, it said, "You've killed FN10204," and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if they're just doing that for like lore reasons." That's
Lore.
kind of cool, you know, because FN, you know, is what they
Yeah.
called it. Oh, all right, and now it all makes
So
sense.
Loyal Doyle, probably not enough players at times. When I saw 3 of those people capturing the point with me,
It's within full matches, yeah.
I had full matches. So the only reason I can think of is to make it so lesser skilled players are not.
Here's the thing.
as
That
a-
is not a difficult like. That's
I
not.
mean-
It's not a difficult shooter. That is one that I could jump into, and I am not a first-person shooter guy, right? That I could jump into and probably get first or second place on my first try, right? Like it's not.
I mean, not. Yeah, I mean, you could probably do well.
It
I
can
don't
do
think
well
you
in
get
your
first
eyes
or second.
because of all those bots flying around.
No, but what I'm saying is it's not Call of Duty, right? Like it's not Call of Duty or Apex, right? It's not a game that like is hardcore. It's not a hardcore shooter.
It's if Battlefield was Mario Kart.
See, now I'm worried.
Yeah,
Does Battlefield have bots?
That's exactly it.
Like,
I don't think they do.
It's Forza, but then they made it into Mario Kart so everybody can enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it turns for you, you know? Yeah. Well, because I was really enjoying that game, and I probably still will enjoy it because I think
I have been having fun with it too.
Yeah.
I mean, given we've been playing with big groups and stuff.
I feel like
So AOG War Dog says if you're talking about Galactic Conquest, they do that for the massive Battlefield. Was it Galactic
Battlefield.
The
Battlefield,
massive
like
battle, like the
huge
big, huge
battle.
battles.
But so here's my question:
It was
why
the
not just
Supreme
make
one.
it a capital assault? So Galactic Conquest.
Supremacy.
Yeah.
That's where I saw him. It was in Supremacy.
Interesting.
But I assume that they're in other places.
So, yeah.
I'm probably okay with it. I just found that out this
You
week.
just felt a little bit betrayed.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Just like, I'll probably go back to it because I think it's a
understand.
fun game.
I get the idea of making it feel like a battle, just like in Titanfall, right? They're there to kind of make it feel
More exciting.
Yeah, right?
With big maps.
But in this case, I mean, I agree with Mark in the aspect that I think why not make them just like little doopy droids that you can just kill and get 1 point for, right? Or whatever, right? A lower play weight. Yeah, like Titanfall. But if they want to make the battlefield bigger, why didn't they just go for like bigger player counts? I mean, it's on the Frostbite engine, which is the same engine.
If there's not enough player base, though.
Yeah.
But we haven't run into that issue. The maps have been
I mean,
full.
I get full 40
Full of
player
bots.
matches
No, you can look at the score screen
and see player names.
and see Did Your Mom 69 and all the other players.
That sounds like a made up. I mean, that's what I would do.
You know what I mean? You can see all the
yeah.
gamer tags on there. Anyways, I'm probably okay with it. I'm still digesting it.
See, Ubi Marty says, my FPS skills are falling off, and Battlefront 2 is definitely the shooter I go to feel better about myself and my kill to death ratio was. Right? Exactly. So I don't know. You're adding bots to help new players. It's not a hard shooter.
Well, I don't understand. Even the way the maps are, I don't know.
When emotional Kylo Ren comes in and just tears up about 30
watch out.
30 of my bot friends. And I just get sliced in half.
Because I mean, like Mark, I've actually really been having a lot of fun with that game. Like it's actually we've gotten into it. It does feel like a little different than like another first person shooter. Like it's kind of got its own style, you know.
Because we're stormtroopers, none of our shots hit. Like goes everywhere.
But no, it's we've actually been playing with big groups and having a lot of fun lately.
I think it's
I just want to know, like, why did you add bots? Like,
I think it just
like
made
I
me
get why Fortnite did it, and honestly, in Fortnite, it benefited me. You know what I mean?
I just feel as though for me, it just made me feel like I suck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, wait a minute. These aren't real people I'm actually shooting?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm not as good as my head thought I was. I don't know.
Oh, I get you.
It's really disappointing. Man.
Well, I think the problem is I don't think there's a problem that there's bots in the game. I think the problem is I don't know. I don't want to necessarily say that they're masking the bots, but the bots are worth the same as a player, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in Titanfall, they're very different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Or you can just add an MMR.
There's that too.
Yeah. Maybe the player base.
Because in Titanfall, it doesn't bother me. But I mean, let's be honest. I can just grunts or nothing. You know what I mean? That's why they're called grunt.
You ignore them.
You ignore those guys.
Well, you get 1 point for them.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, sometimes, like, actually, Titanfall, I think they're in there for relief. Like, because sometimes I get pissed. And then you're
Well,
like,
in Titanfall, though, like, if you're playing and someone's in first place, but he killed no other person, just grunts. He got
but see, I don't
25
think
grunt
that can
kills.
happen, though.
He got 25 grunt kills. You're the reason we lost, dude. Because you didn't kill anybody.
I wonder, I don't think in Titanfall 2 that can happen anymore.
Well,
Can it? I mean,
I don't remember. It's been forever since I played that game, but.
Titanfall's
Anyways,
a good game.
great question. Thank you very much, Super Shark, for writing in. Our next question comes from the man Omonstro. Omonstro writes in and says, "Hey guys, hope you're doing great. Unlike David, who has apparently been falling apart, get better soon. I have been sick. Thank you very much." He says, "Guys, the big 300 is coming. Amazing to see how you guys got this far already. Thank you very much." He says, "Lately, I've been stuck at the very end of Control, which I'm enjoying playing, but I just keep getting killed at the same spot of the game to the point that it makes me go mad for like 30 seconds. But what I've realized is that it kind of put me off from playing it every time I turn on my Xbox. And now it's there waiting for me. So what was the game that you really loved playing, but that made you go crazy mad at the very end for being so punishing and hard to finish that almost stopped you from playing? If you've ever had that experience before. I am sure I've had that experience. I remember being very frustrated multiple times at stuff. I'll tell you a game that had the opposite effect on me that was so easy at the end boss fight that it made the game a little bit disappointing for me, but I still love this game. That is Doom. The final boss fight in Doom was
It really was.
weak. Like week.
It really was because the
Do you want a spoon? We can just get you or straw.
So I think we're gonna make a new rule: no more eating during the podcast because
What? Because he screws up one time, I don't get food.
no. Because if you go back and listen to this, we're gonna hear multiple. Like it sounds like we're making out.
I know, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, no more. We will eat before, then we're clearing the food during the podcast, then we can bring it back in afterwards.
Hey James, don't worry about that. We'll discuss this later, but I still want my food. Okay, we'll tell you what. That side of the table
No,
doesn't have to have any food.
no.
I actually don't
because
think-
we're
I actually
doing
don't
a
think that's ever
podcast.
happened.
You never see any like podcasts or radio shows have food. They always have drinks because drinks you can just down. But foods, I understand now because today, multiple times I've heard.
that's like the first time I've eaten during the podcast, and you didn't even hear me eat it.
I actually did hear you eat it,
no,
and I had
way
to
back
see you
here.
stick your gross fingers in that dip, which ruined everything for
Hand
me.
sanitizer. Put some of that hand sanitizer in the
I
dip.
d- yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, guys.
Problem
Okay.
solved.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So Doom had the opposite effect on me of a game that you got to the end and you just couldn't beat, or there was a point that you got to that drove you mad.
Don't tell them it was me. Chat's blaming me for eating.
It was your chocolate strawberries.
Well, when you put all the food on my side of the table, what am I supposed to do?
And you were eating chocolate strawberries the way you're supposed to eat them. That's sensually. So
So, hey, all listeners, I apologize that I had chocolate strawberries today. My fault.
game that you got to the end of.
I actually really enjoy that aspect of a game.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, I like hard games.
But nothing that has caused you to like
All the time.
dread it.
All the time.
Can you think of a game? In
Dark
particular?
Souls, Sekiro, 1001 Spikes.
Is there one that you never finished though because of it? What about Ninja Gaiden?
No, that's like my favorite trophy of beating any game was the original Ninja Gaiden on
That is impressive.
the second original Ninja Gaiden on the
Yeah, yeah.
Xbox, the OG Xbox. I'm so proud I beat that, and that was so hard.
Do you think if you could go back today, you could still beat it?
Give me a week or two
Oh,
of
really?
just playing that
Yeah.
game. Yeah, it was for those that beat Ninja Gaiden Black.
So
yeah,
for
it's
you,
really
it's
good.
a little bit different because I feel like for instance, Dragon Age for you, it's not the difficulty; it's the difficulty of the decision that you have to
Yeah,
make that
it's
drives
decisions.
you that drives you crazy.
But difficulty, I love that feeling of you have to learn how to beat something, and it is difficult, and you have to figure it out. And when you eventually beat, say, the Sekiro anime fight on the top tower, right? It took me 3 days of just playing that over and over and over, and then I finally figured it out, and I beat it. The triumph you feel, right?
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. It is awesome. And there's games when you just have to take a walk and everything. Yeah, that's okay. Eventually I'll get it, but perseverance. Yeah.
I wonder what is considered the world, like what is considered the most difficult game ever made?
Well, I mean, you could on purpose or not on purpose.
No. On purpose, not on purpose. That's just a mistake. That's called a mistake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because like on the old NES, they never play tested their games, so
Yeah.
it's really hard. But you'd have like I Want to Be the Boshi is that style of game. It's an indie game, but it's extremely difficult. It's a platformer that has to be pixel perfect timing, and you can look. I Want to Be the Boshi is
That's
probably
considered the hardest game.
it's probably up. It's up
Really?
there, top 3 probably. I don't know what the others would be, but it would be that same style of game.
Interesting.
Have you ever seen that game?
I've never seen that game. No.
It's hard, man. The final boss is a box of like
What is it called
cornflakes. It's called I Want to Be the Boshi.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a platformer that requires pixel perfect. It's not meant to be a very pretty game,
Yeah.
but it's yeah.
Jordan, how about you? A game that you've ever just been stuck on that has frustrated you that you've not completed as a result?
Oh, not completed? I don't know.
Or maybe you eventually did, but it just frustrated you to no end.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's really a hard one.
Yeah, that is a tough
I mean, the
one.
only game that really hurt me after I beat it was The Witcher 3.
What?
Wait, why? Because it ended?
Well, 'cause that's all I
it
did.
sucked his soul.
That's all I did for like 4 weeks.
You
straight.
did power
You did,
it.
and
you
then
did power it.
It looked like when you...
But ironically, on the flip side, it's my favorite game, and I think it's one of the greatest games ever made.
It's like you locked yourself up in a basement and just listened to Radiohead for 3 months straight.
That's funny. That is funny.
You know?
Yeah.
It could be that.
Pretty soon, we were worried that you were going to put on black lipstick and black, nail polish. Yeah.
Great question. Good luck on beating Control, by the way, Monstro. Good luck, my friend, and thank you very much for writing in. Queen Nomia writes in and says, so guys, as I was playing Vigor last night in the Battery map, that's a very good map, hanging out by a car park, looting what I can, this fellow comes wandering down the road, and I'm hiding behind cars. I saw him in the distance. I get a clean headshot with the Thompson, grab the death box, and this is stuffed full. So much I actually got an achievement for extracting with a full pack, and this got me thinking, what are your most memorable moments in gaming recently? Well, I think for us, some of the most memorable are shooting each other in Tarkov.
Yeah, there's that.
You feel so bad
But any...
because there was the one other time that we didn't mention that I just lit Jordan up and took him out.
Yeah, I remember that. David shot me once. I think everybody I've played with has shot me.
I felt so bad because all his gear is super expensive.
And again, it's just communication.
Once again, Jordan said, he's coming from behind you. I turn around and there's this intimidating RoboCop dude.
We did learn about armor that day, though.
We did.
AOG says, for me, it was Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising. This is Gamesgate that he's getting stuck on.
That was a fun game. I remember.
And Loyal
that game.
Doyle says Senua's Sacrifice, but eventually he did go back and beat that. But yeah, Senua's Sacrifice, some of those puzzles, a little bit frustrating. But yeah, I can see that one. Anyways, Queen Nomia, memorable moments like what she experienced in Vigor. The thing that, like a game about Vigor has those, or like a Tarkov, they're similar, same genre. Vigor, what I love about the game is there's those memorable moments all the time, particularly in duos, because of the teamwork that's involved and the decisions that you're making. Like, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. Let's go here first. Okay, there's a guy around the corner. I'm going around the corner. I'm going to jump in. Let's go out this way. That's what makes it memorable, that teamwork, that communication.
I think that... Wow. That was an intense cough.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
I just had to do that.
Hey, I don't think we should have podcasts when we're sick because you make things happen. I'm making fun
Shut
of
up and eat
you.
your
'cause
No, I think games that let you have the freedom to make your own stories allow for those to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things that happen that don't happen anywhere else because you were the creator of those things. Let's take a Sea of Thieves. It's the same as Tarkov. When there is no objective and you can go and do whatever you want, which Tarkov is the same way, Vigor is the same way, you go, okay, where should I go for loot? Let's go loot that building. What
What are we doing first here? What's our decision?
When that happens, the freedom there that allows you to have stories evolve and make your own stories take place, I think those type of games allow for that to happen a lot more frequently.
I think what amplifies it in a Vigor or a Tarkov is the risk-reward aspect, too, because it's not just willy-nilly decisions. It's decisions that have consequences to them, right? Mm-hmm. And consequences that could be very bad or consequences that, when done right, are amazing, right? If Sea of Thieves added a consequential feature like that, I think that game would go next level. Because
consequential? What do you mean?
So let's say that you had gear in Sea of Thieves that you took into battles with you, and all of a sudden there was this pirate risk-reward situation.
Well, I mean, let's say, obviously you've never had your treasure chest stolen.
Yeah, but when my treasure chest is
Because
stolen,
that is the risk reward. Do we
but-
keep going on to the next island or do we turn in?
no, but it's not as big of a deal because when my treasure, I'll just go dig
No,
my
it does not. That, yeah.
No, because when
No.
you spend 4 hours
Yes.
getting that chest and then you lose it, and you're literally
not-
your night has been literally a waste of time,
Yeah.
which has happened to me.
here's
So
your
maybe
first-
that's never
here's
happened.
Here's your first mistake. You spent 4 hours looking for a chest.
Well, no,
No,
so like
it's
when we
like
do
20 chests. Remember when you were trying to get that
you had
achievement?
to get that achievement where you had
Yeah.
to like turn it or have so many
80
chests on
on
boat.
80
Yeah.
chests on
Yeah,
boat
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Imagine if you lost that.
Yeah.
Now you're feeling the Tarkov groan.
Yeah, no, that's true. But that's still unique. Like that's not it's not as frequent in Sea of Thieves. Imagine if that was every time I go in. Okay, am I going in with a gun? This gun that I have, this sword that I have, something. They could that would be a cool little tweak to Sea of Thieves. I think. I mean, Sea of Thieves is fantastic, anyways. They're doing a great job, but.
I mean, you totally could do it an open world survival. That's what Tarkov is.
Yeah,
in
and Sea of
essence.
Thieves is almost that, but not quite. You know what I mean?
You could, yeah.
It'll
You
make
can
that really
do
fun.
in that same like memorable moments. I think come from a lot of sandbox style games, like for example, Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah.
Doing crazy stuff. I think more so in the old Battlefields. Now that they've introduced the lunge mine in Battlefield 5,
That's memorable.
kind of brings back that sandbox feeling, right?
Yeah.
So I think like sandbox style games.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there you go. Great question, Queen Nomia. Thank you very much for writing in. I'm looking into Jordan's bloodshot eyes, and he's hyped up on drugs. He's coming down.
Yeah.
So am I. And spicy. So I think we're going to end the show here.
And I got in trouble for eating food on the show. Sorry, everybody.
I mean, they were Central chocolate strawberries.
They're good.
They are good.
They're
They
so
are
good.
good. Tomb Whisperers. Love the show. This is the only thing on Mixer I spent Tomb Whisperers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you for listening this week. We'll be back next week. We'll be all fully healthy. We'll probably switch.
Well,
it.
I'll probably be
Spicy
sick.
Probably won't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been stuck in a small room with both of you.
Well, and then when you go outside, James has been sick.
Yeah,
So.
sick
it's actually
too?
from all directions.
And James actually made the food. So
And that's why I closed the door, though, because I think my sickness is different than their sickness. So, Mark, you are screwed.
You're gonna
It's
get
that
a-
overlap.
You're gonna get a combination virus,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a new
the
strain.
coronavirus.
I have both sanitizers.
Flights
right
are gonna
here.
be
You know what
cheap
I'm gonna
to
bring you
hear.
next
I'm
time?
mixing these
I'm bringing
together.
you one of those like surgical masks.
I
next
was
time.
actually gonna text you guys asking if I should wear one of those.
That would be awesome.
should've.
Actually, yeah. Can we get some made with like the X1 Bros?
Wait, what?
Like
the
X1
X1
Bros,
logo
the
on it?
surgical
In
mask.
China all the time.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I'll make them.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, well, I'll get them. That would be sweet.
That would be hilarious. Thank you very much, guys, for writing in. We love you. Have a great week. Enjoy some games because there's a lot. We've got the game club.
How's that going?
It's going fantastic.
How far are you?
I am not any further than I was last week because I was sick this week.
Yeah.
So I'm hitting
It was
hard
that
this next
bad?
week. Yeah, I haven't done anything. I went to work, streamed, went home and slept from 4 o'clock till 9 o'clock the next day.
Yeah.
3 days in a row.
Damn.
It was terrible.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
Guys, have a great week. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.